Welcome back to Telltale Books. Continuing our Harlan Ellison series, I have tonight Blind Lightning, which in my bibliography is number 14. It was published in June of 1956 in Fantastic Universe magazine, Fantastic Universe Science Fiction. So another professional work. We're fully into the beginnings of his career now, and he's writing some of his best science fiction. Later on, he'd stray further away from science fiction, but for now, he was very much a science fiction fan, and he was very much writing science fiction stories at this point. So Blind Lightning, it takes place on an alien world. An Earth scientist has left Earth after being disgraced for an experiment that results in the death of huge numbers of people. And he's out in space and taking a spaceship going to a planet to do some kind of study. And he lands on the planet, and he runs into the native species there, a kind of primitive yet intelligent species that is described as a cross between a bull and a giant ape. So these are big creatures, very strong creatures. And they are dying. Their kind is dying out. They're telepathic. So he can read the Earthman's thoughts, and he can project his thoughts into the Earthman's mind. So they're able to communicate. And the first thing the alien communicates is that he's hungry. And the Earthman is probably going to become his meal. The Earthman realizes that he has to convince this alien that he's a god in order to avoid such a fate. So this story again presents a very dark vision, something that we weren't too used to in science fiction in 1956. And it's kind of a new thing happening. And previously, science fiction was pretty optimistic about the future and science, man's place in it, man's dominance in it. But in Ellison's stories, things are not so positive, not so rosy. And so you have this scientist who became disgraced because he messed up big time, and it resulted in the deaths of huge numbers of people. I'm not sure if this is the very first instance of this, but it really wouldn't be until the late 60s, early 70s when a lot of people would start thinking about how science may be harming the world instead of being this totally beneficial thing that it's going to make the future a utopia. But Ellison is writing about such things in 1956. And so the scientist leaves Earth to try and start a new career out surveying alien planets, and he runs into a case where he's probably going to become lunch. The story, it's a short story, a little bit longer than the others that I've been reading of Ellison, but it's still definitely a short story. And very well written. Once again, you see the characterization becoming intertwined in the science fictional situation. So that the only way you write a good story is to build some really good character. And Ellison does. He did some excellent characterization here. The alien is well realized. The world could be described a little better, a little more thoroughly, but it's pretty good. I feel he put enough imagination into this world that it's pretty good world building. I just think it would be nice to know more of the environment of this world and why this world has these terrible storms that come up every so often. So this isn't a perfect story yet. We're not into Ellison's best yet. But it is a very good story, and I recommend it. And I happen to have it in places that might be a little hard to find. This is the original Fantastic Universe publication. This magazine didn't have interior illustrations, which is disappointing. And the cover is not for the Ellison story; it's for the Algis Budry's lead story. But it's a beautiful Ed Emsch illustration on the cover of the June 1956 Fantastic Universe. But where I first came across it and where I still have it, and interestingly, it's not in the Essential Ellison, but it is in Alone Against Tomorrow, which is, I think, you got to find this used, but I think copies of it are pretty easy to come by. I had a paperback that I bought brand new when I was a teenager. When I wanted to get a hardcover, I found this at Half Price Books. And I think I've still seen copies there from time to time. It's just a Science Fiction Book Club hardcover, but it's a nice one. I got it in really good condition for not much money. So you can find the story, definitely. And that was number 14, I believe I said. Yeah, that was number 14. The next one, number 15, is called The Crackpots. And that was in If magazine in the same month. I hope you'll seek it out and read it and come back and join me for my video discussion of The Crackpots in the near future, next month or so. And so I'll see you in the next video.